Hello everyone, this is Bluebell, and I'm going to read you a really interesting story by Enid Blyton for the Stories for Bedtime. As usual, it's rather exciting and not really something I'd be settling down after reading. I'll probably have to read a few more. But anyway, here goes. This one is called the Walkaway shoes. So, you know two new brownies who have set up a shop in Toadstool Cottage? Well, they make the most beautiful shoes, said Pixie Lightfeet to the Limpy, the little gnome. You should get them to make you a pair of shoes for your poor old feet, Limpy, then you could walk well again. So Limpy went off to see the two brownies, Slick and Sharpie. They bowed and smiled and they welcomed him. Yes, yes, Limpy, we will make you such a comfortable pair of shoes that you won't even want to take them off when you go to bed. Well, they made him a pair of red with green laces. Lovely red shoes they are. They were so beautiful and so comfortable that Limpy went around telling everyone about them. Look at these, Bluebell, Flower Girl, he said. Look at these, little Pixie. Yes, 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 they're lovely. How do they feel? How do they feel on you, Limpy? Absolutely delightful. Soon all the little town folk of the village were going to Slick and Sharpie for their shoes. So, the two little brownies, they worked very, very hard. They worked so hard, but they were really pleased. Our money box is getting so full, said Slick. It's time we did our little trick, Sharpie. It sure is, said Sharpie. Now, in future, put a walkaway spell into every pair of shoes. Don't forget. Dame Shuffle came that day and she ordered a pair of blue boots. We've got just the pair you're after, said Slick. Try them on, he said, showing her a pair. And she tried them on and they fitted her so well that she bought them at once, grumbling at the price. Oh, gosh. How much? I'll wrap them for you, said Sharpie. And he took them into the other little room, and he found some paper and he slipped a little of the secret magic powder into each boot, and then he wrapped them up, giggling. He took them out to Dame Shuffle, and off he went. Well, she wore them out to tea that afternoon, and she was delighted too. Beautiful, said Mother Nidnod. I'm going to get a pair myself straight away. Oh, me too, said Mr. Tip-Tap. Anyway, the next day off, they just went to buy themselves both a pair each as well. Well, you wouldn't believe it. The next time they met Dame Shuffle, she looked very, very worried. Oh, get over here, guys. You won't get a load of this. Someone came in the night and stole my boots, she said. My beautiful new boots. That cost me so much. Oh, they're quite gone. Oh, dear. Robbers must be about, said Mr. Tip-Tap. Do be very careful. Oh, well, I will be very careful of mine when I get them. And he got a pair of red shoes. And Mother Nidnod, she got a pair of brown shoes with green buckles. Well, Slick and Sharpie grinned at one another. When both customers had gone, they giggled and laughed some more. Did you put a walkaway spell in all of those too? Yes, giggled Slick. Yes, both pairs. Back again tonight, he said, and we'll put them back into our sack, ready to take them away with us when our money box is quite full. So that night, under the spell, You wouldn't believe what happened. Inside Mother Nidnod's brown shoes and Mr. Tip-Tat's red shoes began to work. And they actually started to walk. Mother Nidnod heard a little shuffling sound, and she thought it was mice. She called out to a cat who was in the bedroom. "Cinders," she said, "catch the mice in the room while I'm asleep." So Cinders watched the room, but instead of mice running about, he saw Mother Nidnod's shoes walk to the door. And he thought that was very strange. Well, I'll see that they don't get out anywhere. So she looked to check if her boots were fine as well. "Oh dear, I slept so soundly that if anyone comes near to steal, I would never hear," she said. "I know what I'll do. I'll go to sleep wearing them. Then if a robber comes, he will have to pull them off my feet and I'll wake up and I'll scream." Well, then she curled herself up into a small bed with the big boots on her feet. They reached right up to her knees and she fell sound asleep. And in the night, the Walkaway spell began to work. The boots wanted to walk right back to Slick and Sharpie, but they couldn't because the Scurryabout was wearing them. So Scurryabout, when she felt that reeling and struggling to get herself to her feet, she woke up at once. "Who's pulling off my boots? Master, master, come quickly, someone is stealing your boots." She tried. Big Feet woke up at once and he came scrambling down the kitchen. He was not surprised to find that Scurryabout was wearing his boots. "What are you doing? What is this?" They just leapt off her bed and the shoes, they took her with them. There she was rushed off in those boots and she just tried to get out of them, but she couldn't. But Scurryabout was still inside the boots and she was screaming and screaming because she was like stuck halfway between the window. "Help, help, the boots are taking me away." And then Big Feet suddenly knew what was happening. "There's a spell in them," he cried, "a Walkaway spell. That's what it is. Somebody has put something in them. I bet it's those tiresome brownies. The rogues. Scurryabout, I'm going to open the window wide and I'm going to let those boots take you away with them, but I'll follow closely behind." "Oh, master, help! Help me!" squealed little Scurryabout. And she woke up all the villagers all around. And they threw on their dressing gowns and they came hurrying down to see what was happening. Big Feet opened his window really, really wide and the boots set off at top speed with Scurryabout's feet in them, taking her along too. Zoom, zoom, zoom through the wood and into the lane and down the street and right past everybody's house. And then, pages together, right up to the Toadstool Cottage. She went with those big top boots, and there she kicked the door in. Well, she was kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking to be let in. Well, Scurryabout was crying and Big Feet was shouting in rage and all the other villagers were calling out in amazement. "See what they're doing? The wicked brownies? Wait till we get hold of them." Slick and Sharpie heard all about this and they were very frightened. Slick peeped out of the window when he saw such an angry crowd. He was alarmed. "Quick, Sharpie," he said. "We must get out the back door as soon as we can. Don't wait for anything. Not even the money box." So they fled down the stairs and they opened the back door quietly and they went straight out and nobody saw them go. The top boots kicked the door down and everyone went inside the house. Scurryabout pulled off the boots crying, "They've gone," said Big Feet, looking all around. "But they've left their big money box full of money and the sack full of all the boots that they've made for us," said Mr. Tip-Tap, emptying them out. "Aha!
It's our money because we paid it out for them, and they're our boots because they were made for us. How well off are we? How well off we are! Nobody knew where Slick and Sharpie went to, and nobody cared. The villagers kept the boots and the shoes, and they gave little Scurry about 2 beautiful pairs for herself. As for the money, it is being spent on a big, massive birthday present for the Prince of Dreamland, who is about to turn 5 years old next week. He's going to have a big box of wooden soldiers to march away in rows and then walk back again. You see, Big Feet found the Walkaway spell in a box at Toadstool Cottage. Won't the little prince be surprised? Well, I'm sure he was, and let's just have another little look at that Toadstool Cottage so that if you ever see one, you'll know. There might be naughty little brownies in there. Thank you, kind listeners. This is Bluebell. I hope you enjoyed this little story of the Walkaway shoes. Another classic by Enid Blyton. Thank you, everyone. Good night.